Of course not. Obesity isn't a disease. Somebody up there, the powers above, decided it to claim it as one, which I don't think you can actually do that. You can't catch it. It's not like Parkinson's disease and various other diseases that we actually know of. Usually what this is we are a nation of people who enjoy food. I'm guessing there are going to be a couple of exceptions where when you're on tablets it makes you gain and things like that, but for the majority of us, we do enjoy food. And guess what? If you go into business, what would you open up? Food shops. Every shop owner knows this. When I'm in town, the first things I see over on my right, I have Nando's. There's a dessert bar, and I think there's another one, but I can't think of that name. And then across the way, on the right too, there's McDonald's, and at times that place is heaving. Then walk a bit further down this way, you have Subway. Now, you would think that's a healthy option. The only healthy option they actually have is salads. So if you take the onions and the lettuces and the tomatoes and you put them in a salad, that's the only thing that's healthy. Or if you go in there, you can have like a foot-long sandwich. How is that healthy? And then over on the other side there's a Burger King, and now guess what? They are now opening up a KFC. You keep going down this way, there's truckers with nice cakes, a bit sophisticated, a bit upmarket. Then you continue down, there's Greg's. Nothing uptown is healthy. There's a burger van outside. It's ridiculous. People have these conversations all the time. How can we stop obesity? It is getting out of hand. What can we do? But never once has it occurred to people that it's food chains, fast food chains. And guess what? They did have a jacket potato place. It was a lovely place. It was a bit small, but it was lovely. And actually, they sold fruit, so you could have an apple with it, an orange or something, a pear, And and that's what I did. I had a chicken potato, I had a pear, I had a drink, and I loved it. But guess what? It's closed down. Anytime anybody does anything good, it doesn't succeed. There used to be a spud hot place outside where you could get a jacket potato. Where was that? No, it's not there, because every time something good happens, it gets closed down and more fast food chains are popping up everywhere. So I'd say that's the biggest concern. But here we go. It begs the question, what do we do? How do we stop this? A lot of people have the wrong approach. It's micromanaging and controlling and tough love. Well, tough love only works for a specific type of people, but it's not for everybody. And fat shaming. And I know I've spoken about this before, but I honestly believe if this continues, we will be having the same conversation over and over what do we do? Well, I'd say the first step or the second step is to shut up about it. How are we going to change anybody's minds if we are going to make them feel crappy about themselves? How are we going to change obesity if trolls across the internet are calling them dinosaurs or elephants or whatever cruel thing that is going on right now? It's ridiculous, because who wants to diet and lose weight when other people are making them feel terrible about themselves and worthless? Because that's what shame does. It makes a person feel worthless, and then you're asking them to change. This is what I mean when everyone has the wrong approach. Honestly. And guess what? Guess what overweight people feel like when this is happening? Why bother? Why am I putting myself through all this? If this was the other way around and there was someone who was borderline anorexia, there would be more help available, more concern, more lovingness towards these people. And this is what gets me angry, that no one can be respectful and compassionate to people who are larger. There was a time when there were two things you should never ask a woman because it was deemed inappropriate. I don't know why this hasn't caught on over the years. The first one is, how old are you exactly? The next is, how much do you weigh? You did that, you'd get your answer, and your ears smacked too. I just think, what right have people got to talk down to people who are overweight? And this is the problem. They laugh at them, they mock them. And these days, most people think, don't pussyfoot or pander to them, that's going to make them worse. But this approach right now isn't going anywhere. And we'll be in the same boat this time next year with another question. How do we stop obesity? How can we help? How can we do this? Well, I'm telling you now, it is not through doing what we are doing right now. If you fat shame, if you hate on fat people, if you micromanage them, if you control them, you're part of the problem. And then guess what we tell them? It is all their fault. Exactly. This is the part that really makes me angry. And then you get Piers Morgan saying all these things too, and the once he's enjoying an full English breakfast on Good Morning Britain. But guess what? He is the same as other people. This is a classic example of he is going to tell other people what is wrong with them, that they ought to get healthy, yeah, but he's gonna do exactly what he wants. And guess what? This begs my next point. No one likes to be told what to do, what not to eat. And suddenly there are now limitations. People eat what they want to eat because it actually makes them feel good. They also eat what they want to eat because it helps to make them feel in control. Because guess what? Let's say somebody is on a diet, yeah? And when you are denying yourself everything, yeah? And you can't have this and you can't have that. It's dauntless. You are actually making yourself unhappy. And at some point you cave. This is why at Slimming Worlds, yeah, at the back of the book, okay, fine, Slimming Worlds will encourage you to have fruit and vegetables and protein, yeah, but would you really stick at something where you can't even have a treat? And exactly, that is my point. If you see a slim girl having an ice cream, you're like, oh, that's all right, that's fine. But if you see an overweight person enjoying a hot dog, that could be their treat, but automatically the scales have tipped and we're like, oh, that is why they are the size that they are. I will tell people one thing: if I haven't had a full meal at home here before I go to work, I'm tempted to walk into Subway and have a foot-long baguette. Yes, there are little things you can do at home and, you know, and organise Asian is a big one. Or when it comes down to it, that, you know, when it comes to the fine line, there is a way of talking to people, and I haven't got time for your approach, or just listen to me, I will tell you what to do, or people who constantly talk over you because they think they know what's best and will continue to call you fat even when they know others find it offensive. They do it all the more because, as I have said again, they are part of the problem of what's wrong in this world, you know. And like I have mentioned about anorexia, you get more help on the other scale, on the other side. People think, oh, you're stupid, you've done this to yourself, it's your fault. Now, how is any of that approach going to help anybody? It's not. At the end of the day, people are going to continue to fat shame and fat hate, and it's not going to help. I will tell anybody now watching this, that is not going to help, because guess what, these people who are doing all this, they are not going to treat people and see people as individuals with feelings. These fat shamers and haters, they are the ones who group together and say we have a problem, let's get tougher. And then guess what, people who are doctors and nurses, etc., they play God with someone's life, refuse to treat because, you know, because they think this is a way to get control back. What it is, it's blackmail. It's emotional blackmail. We want you to give up, and here is a bunch of things we won't do for you. And then years on from now, we are still again going to have these kinds of conversations, because people need to learn to talk to people. Even doctors have had to go on courses because they can't speak to their patients in a way that's respectful. That is it. People look at a person who is overweight and they lose respect. And guess what? They treat them without respect. But they're still people. They are still people with feelings, pride. And I think this is all wrong completely. People are very bigoted and won't change their approach, mostly because they don't want to admit what they've been doing is wrong. Everything starts in the head. Yeah. And to move forward, you have to change your approach. So instead of, you know, people reaching for a crisp packet when you feel down, treat yourself to learning a new skill. Singing, dancing, anything that gets you out the house or is you up. Because then, after all that, you will have totally forgotten about the urge to eat. And the reason I know this is because I've done that. Some people who eat may do it out of greed, not because they're actually hungry, and it takes a moment work out what it actually is you want. Think, am I hungry? No. I've had my tea, I just need a snack. What can I have? And at times we can think, shall we have a chocolate bar or shall we have a carrot stick? I mean, I know it's not enjoyable, but I think sometimes we have to eat things that we don't like in order to try and get our weight down. That's just me. And at times, I agree, the last thing I want to be eating is a carrot stick. But at times it's something to do with your hands and you're eating at the same time. And also, sometimes it's not hunger pangs. We can actually get them confused when what we really want is a drink.